Good morning. Before I read from Scripture, I kind of planned to read this, but as we were talking this morning in Sunday school, that we were reminded that God gave Jesus authority over all, and that included Satan, and that included death. So this morning I'd like to just read from Matthew 16, starting in verse 21, where Jesus predicts his death, and read through 28. So from the time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, chief priests, and teachers of the law, and that he must be killed on the third day and raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Never, Lord," he said. "This shall never happen to you." Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. What good will it be for a man if he gains the whole world yet forfeits his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what he has done. I tell you the truth, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." So obviously we can see that Jesus he always defeats Satan and defeats death, and that's why we're gathered around the table this morning, because of his great sacrifice. Will you pray with me, please?
Good morning. Well, Lori and I have been reading a book that was given to us by a friend. It was called The Power of Communion. And I'm not going to go into the teachings that it came from. I don't necessarily agree with most of what's in there, but what it's done is made me consider what's in the Scripture. And I too am going to read from Matthew today, but it's going to be back to you. Matthew 26, starting in verse 27. It said, "He took the cup, and when he had drank it, he gave thanks, saying, 'Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now until the day I drink it again anew in my Father's kingdom.'" Many scriptures also say, "Do this in remembrance of me." And the book was called The Power of Communion. And I think oftentimes we think of ritualistic things, that if we do this, we will get this. But when I read scripture, I get the sense that do this in remembrance of me. There's power in Jesus Christ. We take the cup and remembering the blood that was shed for us. And for me, it stirs the heart. I believe it's what's in here that matters. It's not this ritualistic. It's not the fact of drinking the blood. It's not taking the bread. It's the remembrance of what was given so that we might have this forgiveness. Would you pray with me, please?